So thank you for being here, Beth. And could you just, for the radio listeners, say your name and who you work with?
My name is Beth McMahon. I am the Gillespie County Horticulture Extension Agent, and I work over there.
And you're going to help us with Wildflower 101, right?
Indeed.
So, what order do the wildflowers usually start to bloom during wildflower season?
So we'll start off with 10-petal anemone, which is a tiny, dainty, little itty-bitty flower. It can be white, it can be purple, a very vivid purple. We'll also have crow poison at this time of the year, and it's probably not that poisonous. Then we'll cycle into Texas bluebonnets as well as Indian paintbrushes. Then we'll cycle into Indian blankets, which some are right here, and daisy fleabanes, such as these right here. And pink evening primroses as well, some of our warmer species, and of course the prairie rubinia, this one right here, will continue to bloom. We'll start blooming about with the bluebonnets and then bloom all summer, really.
That's exciting. So how much longer can we expect the very famous bluebonnets to be out? About how long do they usually last?
Well, they started a little bit earlier than normal this year, so probably mid-April, but it really depends if we get rain. If we get rain, they'll last longer. If we don't get rain, they won't last as long.
And you had mentioned that usually they last about a month after you start seeing them.
About a month after you start seeing them, yes.
Very cool. So how long does the wildflower season itself usually last, including all of the different kinds of wildflowers, not just bluebonnets?
The wildflower season lasts as long as it rains and before the summer heat hits. So right here, these daisy fleabanes will probably peter out about May or so. The rubinias, as long as we get rain, they'll go until fall. They're pretty good, strong bloomers. Engelmann's daisy, these pretty yellow flowers that we have right here, they'll bloom for another good month, I think. But again, it really depends if we have rain or not. So ideally, if we have a nice wet summer, we can have flowers throughout the summer and into the fall.
That's exciting. That's so much fun. And then is it legal to pick wildflowers from the roadside, ones that aren't in people's yards?
Yes. So it is legal, but it's discouraged. So you want the wildflowers, like the one I just tossed over my shoulder, to stay on the plant so that it can set seed so that you can have future wildflowers in the area. But yes, you can pick a couple as long as they're pretty common. Like these daisy fleabanes, I don't feel too bad about picking them because there are a lot here.
Oh, that's lovely. Behind your ear. And so really, though, if you wanted to seed one of those little plants, you'd probably wait till it was already faded and seeding, and then you'd grab it from the roadside, right?
Yes. So, for example, with this Indian paintbrush right here, this flower right here is already starting to wither. You would wait until all the petals were dropped and this top was fully dried out before you would take the seeds and pick them and collect them.
Very cool.
But you always leave some of the seeds there on the plant so that it can continue to survive in the area.
And what are some basic safety tips and etiquette tips to wildflower watching or picking?
Number 1, watch out for snakes. Number 2, if you find a snake, do not attempt to touch the snake or pet the snake. It's not worth the selfie. Number 3, if you see a fence, do not cross it. If you're out on a country road and there are no fences whatsoever, but you did cross a couple of cattle guards, probably don't get out at all at that place. Wait until you have a clear fence to show where somebody's property starts, because you don't want to trespass to look at wildflowers. It's just rude. And if it looks like someone has intentionally planted something, say right by a gate, probably do not pick that.
Excellent. That's perfect. Thank you so much. Is there anything else wildflower related, though, that you'd like to share with folks?
I just want you to invite you to go out and take a look at all the pretty wildflowers that might be around you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yep.
The next intergenerational game day is March 27th at 3:30 at Llano County Library. Talk About the Hill Country wants to remind listeners that libraries are a great resource. Books are only the beginning. Patrons can take workshops on crafts, healthy living, exercise, and much more. Library apps make ebooks and Audible books available for free. We have many great libraries here in the KNAF listening area in Fredericksburg, Johnson City, Boerne, Llano, Marble Falls, Brady, Harper, and Mason, to name just a few. Make a visit to the library one of your fun field trips this week. Talk About the Hill Country is a service of KNAF and HC Broadcasting. If your business or organization has an event or a new service coming up in the days, weeks, or months ahead, contact us to be put on the calendar. Talk About the Hill Country comes on every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. on KNAF AM 910. Call KNAF at 830-997-2197, fax 830-997-2198, or email knafnews@gmail.com.